Welcome to the channel. My name is Proteus. Today we're going to talk about Uncanny X-Men issues 125 to 127. We are going to cover the first part of one of my all-time favorite X-Men story arcs. We have our merry mutants having to deal with Proteus, one of the all-time most powerful villains in the mutant side of the Marvel Universe. So without further ado, let's get into this. So this story is written by Claremont. We have killer art by John Byrne. So issue 125 actually starts with Phoenix. She's at Muir Island. We have Moira McTaggart doing these studies on her, trying to understand the nature of her new powers, the powers that she has gained from the Phoenix Force. As I always say about Jean Grey during this time, when she was Phoenix, it's not the original Jean Grey. Phoenix made a copy of her. Now, the really interesting thing is that we have a fascinating B plot going down also. We have Mastermind corrupting Phoenix during all these issues. And the thing is that Mastermind wants to get Phoenix on board to join the Hellfire Club. She's going to become the new Black Queen. And since Phoenix is on Mastermind's leash, this is going to give him more leverage within the organization. Now I have to say that the way Mastermind manipulates Phoenix is fantastic. It's very dark, it's very messed up. Claremont does a fantastic job doing this, but what happens in this story now with the A plot is that on Muir Island there's a mutant that was imprisoned there called Mutant X. No one knew of the existence of Mutant X until it was able to escape. So what happens is the X-Men back in the States get a distress call from Muir Island. So the X-Men hop on board the Blackbird. They arrive there and they're trying to find out what the hell had gone down. They find actually even a dead body, a lifeless husk all consumed. And that's when they discover that Mutant X needs host bodies and he consumes them. And once he does this, he needs to jump to another host body. And even at this moment of the story, Proteus actually jumped into one of Multiple Man's dupes. So I think this is the first time that Multiple Man has to deal with the death of one of his duplicates. It really messes up Jamie Madrox, but the thing is that Moira actually ends up spilling the beans with the X-Men and tells them that Proteus is actually her son, that he's insanely powerful and extremely, extremely dangerous. So now we have the X-Men trying to hunt down Proteus, and what happens is the first ones that are able to confront him are Nightcrawler and Wolverine. And we get this fantastic moment where our heroes discover what Proteus' powers are. The guy can warp reality, and he does a number on Nightcrawler and Wolverine, to the point that Wolverine is very shaken after this first confrontation. I have been a long-time Wolverine fan, and I think I've only seen Wolverine scared twice, with Proteus and with Cyber. Logan is so messed up after this first confrontation that Scott Summers has to snap him out of it by pissing him off. Obviously, Cyclops does this on purpose, but the thing is that he doesn't do it because he's an asshole. He does it because he's a good field leader. And he needs Wolverine back on his feet to deal with this problem. Another really interesting thing that we see in this story is that Moira, she is totally willing to kill her son. Like, she's running around with a sniper rifle and she actually misses a shot. You know, in the Krakoan era, they sort of retconned the whole situation with Moira and Proteus. But reading the story again, it does sort of make sense that Moira actually only created Proteus as an experiment and she needed to pull some information from his genetic makeup. And that's it. Proteus meant nothing to Moira as a son. She didn't care. Obviously, we're talking about the Hickman era of Moira McTaggart. Also, we discovered what Proteus is looking for. And the thing is that he's trying to hunt down his father.